It's Madden NFL 22, where division rivals will clash in the NFC East. It's Washington and New York, and it's coming up next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington football team. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Garden on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium, taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by the man from Old Dominion, at quarterback, the 28-year-old Taylor Heineke.
Let's face it, you don't see too many Old Dominion alums suiting up under center in the NFL. And in fact, Taylor Heineke, the first ODU quarterback to suit up for a regular season game, not to mention doing well in the playoffs. This guy's an absolute fighter. Fought for every chance he's had in this league. Attitude, determination, those carry over to his teammates very well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Heineke on 1st down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the 1st down sack. Heineke And that's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Heineke winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and of course take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's in. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. DeAndre Carter back deep. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
Let's go. I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Throwing. Heineke. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Azeez Ojulari drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt, they're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Throwing Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jones. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. Jones hit and the ball's out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Washington offense set to take over again. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Dancing to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Let's go. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the 2 of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Heineke. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Play action now. Here's Heineke. Now he's flushed out right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Here's Tressway now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Jones. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Looking to throw, Heineke. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On second down, here's Heineke again. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Jones throwing on first down. Going right side, he finds Slayton. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A good position to be in here, second and inches. From the gun, Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Jones. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and he's just going to put this one in the Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding, because that one was well over everyone's head.
Second and 10. Back to throw again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Giants, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. That ball caught by Slayton and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Here's Jones on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Now he's flushed out left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here. The closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 5. They'll go again with Gibson. Oh, nice move. It's a first down and more for Gibson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll try to throw now. Heineke. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Heineke. And incomplete on the deep ball.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Washington offense going back to work. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. A handoff for Gibson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Heineke. Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Heineke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. With the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. And New York set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Barkley a 1st down and more. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he's forced out left. And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point try good by Gano. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Here's Carter now on the return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Heineke now in the Washington offense. Down by 10. A little under 1:50 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On 1st and 10, Heineke finding Samuel. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. From the 40 now on second down. Heineke now a desperation throw deep downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A huge play there for Washington.
Not sure much more could have been done there defensively. Went up with him, tried to knock it away, tried to get an arm in, unsuccessfully.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Heineke to throw it.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here's Heineke. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Heineke.
And it's caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And his kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be